Hi everyone. I want to show you a quick workaround for an annoying problem that a lot of you guys have been encountering in attempting to work through the case study manufacturing flaws in circuit boards. The problem is not your fault. It has to do with an annoying change in RStudio that happened in a recent update, and I'm going to show you a really simple workaround to get the behavior that you should be getting. So if you go to the case study webpage, which I've got called up right here, and you use the import dataset button to load in the dataset, and you ask for a summary of the solder dataset, we ought to be seeing something like this, which summarizes these categorical variables. This many masks A3, this many masks of thin solder, this many masks of thick solder, and so forth. However, if instead you actually do this using the most recent version of RStudio, and you go over here, and let's actually follow that process, use the import dataset command. We'll hit browse, and we'll call open the dataset from the course packet. It's actually in solder.csv, so I got to surf over to exactly where I've got that in my directory. And I've got it here, so I click on solder.csv, and you actually do this. You click import, and then you type down here in the console, summary of solder. You don't see something that looks like mine. Instead of a summary, so if you go back to what you're supposed to see, for example, opening, let's go back there, you should see this many large, this many medium, and this many small, summarizing how many cases fell into each of these three categories. What you instead see is this far less than helpful information that there's 900 observations and that the class of this variable is a character. So what's happening here is that RStudio made a very recent change to the import dataset function that destroyed an important piece of functionality in the software. I'm not going to go into the details here. At the end, I'll explain a little bit about what's going on. That's not essential. What I want to do is show you an important workaround. Okay, so let's close this. Let's clear our workspace, and I'll show you what to do in order to get the appropriate behavior here. So again, same as before, click Import Dataset from CSV, browse over to wherever you have the solder file saved. So in my case, it's right here. There's solder.csv. And now don't click import yet. All right. So this is a non-intuitive thing, but it turns out that if you see in this code preview window down here, if this command that says read underscore CSV, this is the thing that's causing all the trouble. If instead you change that underscore to a period, just a simple little one character change, and then you click import. So remember, it was an underscore, change that underscore to a period, and then click import. Now let's go and do summary of solder right here. And lo and behold, you get exactly what you should be seeing. This many large, this many medium, this many small, this many thick, this many thin. What's happening here is that by making that one silly little change in that code block that you saw at the bottom of the import dataset window, you're getting automatic conversion to factors of these variables that we want to be treated as factors, namely opening, solder, mask, pad type, and so forth. Okay, so that will get things back to where they should be, looking exactly as they do in the walkthroughs that I've got. I've actually posted something to the RStudio help website to say that this is a terrible change that they've made and that they should offer some kind of backwards compatibility for the way things used to work. If you are actually interested in upvoting that on their thing, I'll put the link in the YouTube. Come in here and click up right there. I've already voted, so we'll let me vote again, right? All right, so that's it. Just make that one tiny little change. I apologize that you need this kind of workaround, but it is really quite simple, and it will get things working exactly as they ought to be on the basis of what you see in the software walkthroughs.